Samurai, Fayot here, and in this short video we're gonna go through the changes that came with 1.12, the patch that was released today. You might have noticed that it's been a while since I did a vid on Neo, but as things are right now, the game's been pretty dry, we didn't see many changes, so I didn't just wanna spam half-baked builds or anything like that, since most of the content has been covered. But today we have a new patch, so we're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna go through this in segments so you can easily find what you're looking for. First and foremost, when you come to the world map after installing the patch, you're gonna notice that the Twilight Missions give a lot more gold on their initial completion. Now we're talking a lot of gold and a lot of Amrita, almost 1 million gold and like 6 million Amrita for initial completion. This is pretty huge, and grinding Amrita and gold at this point is gonna set you up pretty decently for the upcoming DLC. More importantly though, you're gonna see that the rewards have changed, and you can see that there is a Fabled Umbracite for its initial completion of Twilight Missions. We're gonna go through what the Umbricite actually does in a bit. It is a crafting material, but as things stand at the moment, this is a surefire method of obtaining it. Moving on to the forge, you're gonna notice that most of the work that was done in this patch has to do with what you can create here and with the reforging process. So if you go to the blacksmith, go to forge and tools, you can see that now you have the ability to forge whetstones and Nikawa glue. When it comes to whetstones, it isn't a big deal because they drop pretty much all the time, but Nikawa glue is something that very rarely becomes obtainable, and it's worthy of your crafting or grinding time because it allows you to maximize your armor's familiarity without having to actually go into the dungeons. For people who are obsessed with forging and reforging the perfect set of gear, Nikawa glue is invaluable. So this is a pretty decent addition to what you can do with your materials in the game. It will cost you 1 slender vertebra to forge, but those can very easily be farmed by killing the newest type of yokai that can be found in the region that came with Dragon of the North. Another huge addition is what you can do with the dialogue speaking with the blacksmiths. Now if you go to dialogue and request for Tome, you see that nothing has changed, but if you try to talk with Muramasa, you will see that 3 new tabs have become available. One is pay soul matching cost with patronage. Now this is pretty huge because, as you can see here, I have 355 patronage levels that I've done nothing with, and now it can actually be used to do something and save money that I'd otherwise have to go through very quickly when reforging my stuff. Well, not reforging, but when it comes to soul matching to increase levels above level 15, for example, or if you have forged a piece of gear yourself starting from level 200 flat, it's gonna take you a lot of money to get it up to 20, so this is a good alternative. Syllable ingots forging. This is another huge addition. You can create syllable ingots which allow you to create usable items that store your Amrita, the Amrita that you have on you. So as it stands now, you can store up to 70% of your Amrita in an ingot. Increasing this will allow you to store greater amounts of Amrita in ingots. Then you can use said ingots to get your Amrita back. This is pretty much a banking method, so you don't run the risk of losing your Amrita when you die. I wouldn't really suggest investing 30 patronage levels into this, because if you die, you probably have 1,000 candles that you can instantly use to get your Amrita back. But if you really want to play this safe, invest in this and you have an alternative. Disassemble to obtain rare materials. Now this is a very useful thing to invest into, because as it says, it grants a low chance of obtaining rare forging materials when you disassemble equipment. Your chances will increase as your level rises. So by just investing in this and going through your missions normally, eventually dismantling stuff you will not need, slowly but steadily your economy when it comes to materials will increase. Make no mistake, guys, if you want to get top-notch gear in this game, you have to grind your ass down. So with this, you passively increase your chances of having the materials you need when you need them in order to optimize your equipment, weapons and armor. Here's what you will actually see when you obtain a material by disassembling. The most important addition to the patch has to be tempering, available after you obtain your first Umbracite. So, how is it used? You go to Reforge for a weapon, for example, and instead of clicking X, pressing X to go into the weapons Reforge slots, you click on triangle. So you see here that for every one of these slots you have available options on the right, and you can use Umbricite, Quality Umbracite or Fabled Umbracite to get specific reconfigurations on your weapon. This can be done on weapons regardless of their quality. As you can see here, it is restricted by what kind of perks an equipment piece has. So for example, if you have an agility damage bonus on your weapon, you will not be able to stack a familiarity damage bonus on it. So for each one of these slots you have different options. Now in this case, for example, you can get guaranteed Pierce Guard or a Change to Attack C, which is bullshit, but you can also get equipment weight damage bonus or enemies defeated damage bonus at A-, which is pretty decent if you choose to do so. Here's my Onisak on Spear. Here, for example, I have human close combat damage that I can swap for something else if I choose to. Not the best trade-offs I've ever seen, but you get a general idea of what can be done. It also uses gold to complete the process, so you can temper out with it. It's not a very expensive process, like 19,000 gold as you see here is not much. There are processes that require a lot more, and what you actually get out of these people is that you avoid reforging for countless hours, and you can just get what you want when you want it. Maybe not with the best roll you can have, but still pretty decent when it comes to how the weapon will perform. As you can see, there is also a fourth tier that's comprised of question marks. This is day one of the patch, people. Don't jump on me because I don't have all the answers. I don't know what the fuck this is. Maybe it has something to do with the next DLC, maybe a new material or something like that. If I find out what it is, I'll make a new video and link it in the description below. But as it stands right now, it's a fourth tier of tempering that we know nothing about, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Moving on to clans. Apart from the various adjustments that came with the patch, the most important thing here is the donate ability. Now, the game allows you to donate specific pieces of gear. Like for example, you can see here that the special rewards are given for donating heavy armor, and below that, special rewards given for donating a Gosari Gamma. The above tier lasts for 6 days and 10 hours as you see now, so it's the weekly one, and below is the daily one. You can pretty much donate stuff to your clan to gain glory and increase in clan rank, but you also get specific week by week and day by day rewards. And after you contribute a specific amount, I don't know what this amount is because it's just in the patch notes, you might get a special reward. It's pretty much like what you can do in the shrine, but here it's related to glory and rewards from your specific selected clan that you're actually using. So that's the gist of it. I will be linking the patch notes below if you want to have an overview of what's happening. These are the major points of the patch. It really helps the economy. You can really go after specific stuff that you're looking for when you reforge your gear without having to reforge and reforge and reforge all the time. You can go for a pretty high, in certain cases, stat tier. Like you won't get 24.9% on your killing strike damage, for example, but getting a 22%, it's better than reforging for 3 days straight. For me, it's the holy grail of this patch, the best thing that happened to the game in 1.12. We're waiting for the next DLC. If I discover anything new about what's happening in the game at the moment, I will be making a vid. So subscribe, like and share if you found this useful. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection, people. Cheers.